Just spotted this in the road. Don't know what state it's in. He's only just in rigor. There's a tractor coming. Jesus Christ, I can't stop myself. Let's have a look. Get it in the boot. Give it a bit of a fettle. Okay then, so looking at old Bunny, I'll spare you the gory details, but yeah, it's been hitting the head. So I'm hoping, because he's still in rigor, that all the body is in good nick. But I've pulled over in a gateway. I'm just going to do the deed on the old Bunnykins. People must think, what, you know, who is this man just travelling around, picking shit up. One rabbit, just about here. I'm going to get this home, get it out of the jacket. Got its guts out, but people are coming now along the road. I'm just like a weirdo. Okay then, one roadkill bunny. Let's just, using my poultry shears, take its not so lucky rabbit's feet off. So this is a moment of truth then. When I picked it up, I was thinking, come on, that, it's been hit in the head, which it has, so I won't show you that bit. But we'll find out when we take its jacket off. So as you can see already, the back is looking all right. Bit of damage to the shoulder there. That don't bother me much. Just peeling that fur off the back end. It's looking all right. So I'm not too fussed if this front end's a bit damaged, because there ain't a lot on the shoulders. Push that leg through. If I can just get it to stay in shot. You know what they say about a rabbit, that's tough to skin. But it doesn't matter because it's going in the stew pot. Yeah, it doesn't want to give up its jacket. Right. So if you can see here, looks like two bits of shit. That's the scent glands, the musk glands. You must remove them. Sometimes it comes off with the fur, sometimes it doesn't. And if you don't remove them and you cook it, it'll fill your house up with the most disgusting smell, and the stew will taste of the smell. I mean, they're rank. That is the reason. So, yeah, roadkill bunny. It's a result so far. So, with this being free meat, it's all a bonus. So I'm not even going to bother. I'm going to cut that off. Just get that straight in the bin. Give it the dogs. Shoulders all right there. So, I've got a bowl of some cold water, just get a bit of salt in. What we're making here is just a very simple cleansing brine, just to pull out any impurities, any blood, like in that rib there will come out. So, just all you do is rest it in, and then just put that in your fridge overnight. So after 24 hours in the fridge, looks like that. So you can see the colour of the water. All that light brine has brought out all the impurities. You can see it's changed the flesh, the colour. What I'm going to do is take it out, and then we can deal with the primals depending on what we're going to be cooking. But yeah, look at that. Old school trick. Nice clean cloth. Just dry these bits off. And what we got to do is decide what we're going to do with it. I fancy doing 3 dishes from 1 rabbit. And I'm thinking if we could split the shoulders, because he was a decent sized bunny, and make a rabbit stew from the shoulders by just separating it. Put that on that plate there a minute, and then take off these little shins, and I'm thinking maybe confit the back legs, and then with this lovely loin, just take those little fillets out. That can go in my stew. I'm just going to quickly take off that rib section, and again that will go in my stew. So I just take it off the bone, and then this, I think, maybe bone it out, roll it, stuff it. Then that will give us confit legs, rabbit stew with the shoulders, the front end, and something nice with this loin. Always difficult though, because there's hardly any membrane. But we will do something with that. I don't want all that, so that'll go into the stew. So yeah, we might stuff it, we might just take the fillets off and just pan fry them. Who knows? Actually, just change it up. I am going to take those fillets off. So this is the prime. Pretty much pull it off. I'll get that silver skin off. So this is basically rabbit backstrap. Solid meat, cooks quite quickly, nice and tender, doesn't do a lot of work. So yeah, there we have then our loins, our legs, and that belly flap, the flank, goes into the stew. Okay then, so I have finally figured out my menu. 1 rabbit, 3 ways. Like I said, all the trim, all the shoulders into a stew, so we got that sorted. These lovely little loins, I am actually going to make some little rabbit Wellingtons, make a duck sal, wrap it in it, got some prosciutto, they'll be really cool. So a couple of little rabbit Wellingtons, and then with these, I'm going to confit these. I love confit rabbit, especially if you've got a tougher rabbit, it will break it down and the flavour is immense. But all I want to do first is make a cure. I want to draw as much moisture out of these legs as I can, and then it'll cook much easier. It allows the fat of choice to get in and work its magic. So it's normally about 30 grams of salt to a kilo of meat, but as you can see there, I haven't got a lot of meat, so I put 2 teaspoons of salt and a half of teaspoon of sugar. What we do is just get that rubbed in. So it's only a light cure. I mean, you can leave it for a minimum of an hour, but the longer you leave it, obviously the better it's going to be. So 6 hours if you can, overnight. But yeah, just get it rubbed in. And you'll see that'll draw all the moisture out. There's my tub. Put that on there like that. Just give it a little extra. Then we can put a lid on that then and just get it in the fridge while we start to build our stew. Look at my lovely chopping board, wonderful. So what I'm going to do is just wrap these lovely rabbit loin fillets in some grease proof. Put that in the fridge and we're going to work on that. Get yourself a bag. Put in some flour. So what we need to do is coat these pieces of meat and then we'll fry it off, add some colour, and that'll start our stew process, and it will leave all those lovely caramelised bits at the bottom, which is all flavour. So a little bit of pepper goes in, bit of salt, bit of mustard powder, yes, a bit of shufti, and what we need to do is get all our rabbit parts in, spin, make sure it's all covered. We'll shake off any excess and then we'll just start to gently fry these pieces to add a bit of colour. It's that simple. So we get a little bit of oil in our casserole dish. When your oil is warm enough, put your bits of rabbit in. Now you want it to fry, not stew, so make sure you get that good sizzle going on. And if you put it round clockwise, you'll know when to turn it. So that one being the first one I put in, give it a few minutes to turn that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and they all should be cooked the same. Fat back. Some lardons of bacon, always in a rabbit stew. So we get those till they're nice and brown and crispy. Then that will add another dimension to it. So that's our bacon looking stupendous. You can see it's released some of its porky oil. So the next element we add is an onion and some carrots. What we're going to do, we're going to just gently fry them, not too high a heat, and what that will do will caramelise the natural sugars in them. So I'll turn that down. I don't really want any colour, just so they soften. As you can see then, those veggies have softened nicely. Look at the onions. I'm going to ramp the heat up. Put my rabbit bacon and the resting juices back in. So real simple. And what I want to do with this is cook it so all the meat comes off the bone, so it's almost shredded. So I'm going to add some hot water. Basically some stock, but I'm going to use one of them stock pots. So water till it's covering. If it's good enough for Marco Pierre White, it's good enough for me. So we'll have a couple of them Knorr chicken stock pots. Lovely. So I'm going to put in a bit of dried sage, bit of dried thyme, not too much. Now the sauce will thicken because of the flour that was on the meat. Good dollop of the finest, and when that's all come together we'll put a lid on it, and basically it's just thyme. A minimum of 1.5 hours, I guess, but the longer you leave it the better it will be. So let me just show you this then. This has been gently cooking in my oven at 120 degrees C for 2.5 hours. Now let's just have a look. Now remember, I want this to completely come off the bone, so that's that shin, which is a notoriously tough part. Just have a look at that, flaking off. What else we got in here? I know we had those shoulders. So I think it needs about another half hour. Let's see how we're doing with this. Oh, that's flaking nicely as well. Yeah. And you can see how the flour off the meat has thickened the sauce. So we'll give that another half hour. And then we'll turn it off. I mean, if you can leave this the next day, even better. Look at this. So there's the shoulder blade there. Look at that, just with a fork coming off. Oh, it's hot. Look how cleanly that comes off. That's how you know your rabbit is cooked. Wonderful, isn't it? So quickly then we'll just check on the process of those legs that are curing. These have been in about 3 hours. And you can see how much moisture that salted sugar's pulled out. Might give that another hour or so. But yeah, again, we're headed in the right direction. Right then, so these beauties have been curing for 6 hours. That's my fat ready in the microwave. All I need to do then, just wash these off. Nice cold water, cut them nice and dry. And what we'll do is, got my cast iron dish, just place the legs in. Okay then, so your fat of choice, you can use duck fat, goose fat, chicken fat. I'm actually using something quite special. Iberico pork fat. Oh yes. Let's get that in there so it's covered. Beautiful. Then I'm going to put in 1 star anise, a couple of sage leaves just ripped up, a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of thyme, then here some juniper berries, some black peppercorns, some mustard seeds, and a couple of cloves. And then just 1 garlic clove just cut up, and that's quite a fragrant aromatic mix up. And what we need to do is cover that in foil and get it into a low oven. But yeah, you just know that that's going to be special. Let's get some more of that in. Why not? Okay, then I've got my oven at 140 degrees C. We need to cook it for at least 2 hours. After 2 hours, just check it with the point of a knife. If it goes through, it's done. If not, just give it half hour more and just check it. You want to catch it just before it falls off the bone. Right then, my friends. So in the end then, I cooked this for 3 hours and I've just let it cool overnight. That's what you want to do, let it cool in its own fat. But like I said, check it after 2 hours. Obviously with the point of a knife is a good way. The trick is to catch it before it falls off the bone. You want it left on that bone. So give it 2 hours, nice and gentle, and then just check it every 15-20 minutes. And this is what you get. And what we do is we dig in. This is preserved now. We take out these lovely rabbit legs and we wipe all that lovely fat off. And what you can do is if you melt that again, put it back in the jars, you can use it for another batch of confit. But the next step for that is to fry it in the pan and eat it. So dish number one, the rabbit stew made from the shoulder and all the trim. Always difficult to make stew look sexy. At the end of the day, it's proper fodder, isn't it? What you got to remember, if you can, is that this was picked up off the side of the road. So for all intents and purposes, this meal is free. So dish number one in my trifecta, rabbit stew. Oh, come on. It's a bit of alright to me. Okay then, for my second dish from my Roadkill rabbit, I'm going to do a real simple but delicious rabbit confit salad. So I have been storing my confit in this kilner jar. Basically I just put the cooked legs in, heated up the fat, and then just put it back on top. Now I just got to get them out. Now like I said, you can reuse the rabbit. Look at it, it's falling apart. You can use this fat to do another batch, or you could cook with it. Oh, come on, you beauty. It's so tender, so soft. Look at it. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to wipe off this fat, put it back in the jar. I'm going to make a salad. I got some wild rocket. I got some pea shoots and garlic chives. And then I will do some nice little squares of fried black pudding. And then get this in the pan and make it nice and crispy and shred it and put it on top. And a little bit of dressing. Just have a look how good that rabbit looks. So just pulls apart. Just flake it on. Really easy. Tasty. So I've just dressed my salad in a classic French dressing. Oh, this is just stunning. All that work that leg does to make it run away from people like me. Just over egg the pudding with black pudding. There you have it. Simple, simple. Rabbit confit. Warm salad. Sometimes the simple things are best. So just a little bit of salad leaves, a little bit of dressing, a little bit of black pudding, and that rabbit confit. Come on, focus for me. Oh man. Proper food. Right then, better get on to dish 3. So on to my final dish then. some lovely mushrooms, those rabbit loin fillets and some prosciutto. Time for a rabbit Wellington. Beautiful bits of meat. So I've got my mushroom duxelle then, which is basically some mushrooms chopped to the consistency of breadcrumbs basically, and then fried until dry in some butter and some oil, and then my beautiful rabbit loin fillets. I've just added a little bit of colour. I'm mindful that it isn't very thick and I want it to be nice and tender, so just real quick hot pan on, job's a good one. All we need to do now, puff pastry, prosciutto, and we build. So it's looking pretty cool. All I need to do now is put a bit of decoration on, but because I got sausage fingers, I'm going to get my better half to do it. More delicate. So I've just cut a portion of my homemade dauphinoise. Just have a look at the layers in there, eh? It is a labour of love, but it's so worth it. And there's that beautiful rabbit loin Wellington. Just going to let it rest for 10 or 15 minutes, then we're going to get it plated up. But how good does that look? One roadkill bunny never looks so good. Right, looking forward to this. Gotta have a bit of that. So there you have it. One rabbit loin Wellington with these killer dauphinoise. I'm going to have a go on the dauphinoise first. So many layers. Let's have a look at the layers in that. On a bit of this. Come on, you beauty. So good. Right, I want to sit down and enjoy this. Just get a big forkful. One bit left. It's amazing. All from one rabbit. Rabbit stew, confit rabbit salad, rabbit loin Wellington.